Whispers on the wind shadows of Cannibal Hill. The air hung heavy, thick with secrets. Cannibal Hill, they called it. Nestled deep in the Appalachian mountains of West Virginia, shrouded in mist and darkness, even on the brightest day. The town below, Hollow Creek, was a forgotten place, a place where whispers turned to screams, and screams were never heard again. Outsiders rarely ventured up the winding dirt road. Those who did spoke of strange occurrences, missing persons, unexplained noises in the night, the stench of decay lingering in the air. There were stories told in hushed tones around flickering campfires, stories of a town consumed by something dark, something sinister. The old folks whispered of a curse, a darkness that seeped into the souls of men, turning them into something monstrous, something hungry. They spoke of rituals, ancient and profane, conducted under the pale light of the moon. The stories were dismissed as folklore, superstitions of a bygone era. But some things, some horrors, are best left undisturbed. Because in the shadows of Cannibal Hill, the stories were real, and the nightmares were all too human. The vanishing kind lost souls of the Hollers. They came for different reasons. Lost hikers seeking shelter, curious travelers lured by the town's macabre reputation, families passing through, their cars sputtering on fumes and desperation. They came and they vanished, swallowed whole by the mountains, leaving behind only whispers and rumors. There was the young couple, on their way to a music festival, their car breaking down at the edge of town. They were never seen again, their disappearance brushed aside as a tragic accident, lost in the vast wilderness. But the locals knew better. They knew what lurked in the shadows of Cannibal Hill. And then there was the group of college students, eager to explore the abandoned mine shafts that riddled the mountainside. They went in, armed with flashlights and youthful bravado. Only their backpacks, torn and emptied, were found scattered near the entrance. The mine, they said, had claimed another victim. But the bloodstains told a different story. A story of unimaginable horror. Stories like these were whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations, each tale more gruesome, more terrifying than the last. They were a chilling reminder of the darkness that clung to this place, a darkness that had teeth, and it was always hungry. Her escape a bloody night on Cannibal Hill. Her name was Sarah, but they called her Little Bird. A cruel joke, considering her fate. She had been just a girl when they took her, ripped from her family's car on a moonless night, dragged kicking and screaming into the darkness.
I spent years in their clutches, a prisoner in their mountaintop hovel, forced to witness horrors that would make your blood run cold. The stench of death was ever present, the air thick with the metallic tang of blood. I saw things, heard things, that no human being should ever have to endure. But I was a survivor. I clung to the memory of my family, to the hope of escape.
And one night, fueled by desperation and terror, she saw her chance. A window left unlocked, a moment of distraction. She didn't hesitate. She ran through the darkness, the screams of her captors echoing behind her. She could hear them crashing through the underbrush, their hot breath on her neck. But she didn't stop. She couldn't stop. Not until she was free from this nightmare. Section 4. The Feast, Rituals of Blood and Bone. They gathered in the dead of night, a grotesque mockery of a family, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames of a bonfire, their eyes filled with a chilling emptiness. They were the patriarch, a hulking figure with a blood-stained beard, his sons twisted reflections of their father, and his wife, a withered crone with a gaze that could curdle milk. Their rituals were a blasphemy, a perversion of everything sacred. They danced around the fire, chanting in a language as old as the mountains themselves, their bodies smeared with blood and viscera, the air thick with the stench of burning flesh. And then came the feast, a grotesque banquet of human flesh. They tore into the cooked limbs with feral hunger, their faces stained with blood and grease, their laughter echoing through the trees like the cries of the damned. Sarah had witnessed these horrors firsthand. She had seen the light fade from the eyes of her fellow captives, felt the heat of the fire on her own skin. She knew the depths of their depravity, and she knew that she would never truly be free from the horrors she had witnessed. Section 5. The reckoning justice served cold. Sarah's escape made headlines, a beacon of hope in a story shrouded in darkness. The authorities descended upon Cannibal Hill, armed with warrants and righteous fury. They found the remnants of the feast, the bones picked clean and scattered like macabre confetti, the bloodstains soaked deep into the earth.
The patriarch and his sons fought like cornered animals, but in the end they were no match for the law. They were tried and convicted of their crimes, sentenced to spend the rest of their days rotting in a cage, their reign of terror finally over.
But justice could not erase the horrors that had transpired on Cannibal Hill. The families of the missing were left with nothing but grief and unanswered questions. The town of Hollow Creek became a ghost town, its streets empty, its houses abandoned, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can fester in the human heart. Section 6. The silence remains echoes of horror. The sun sets on Cannibal Hill, casting long, ominous shadows across the trees. The wind whispers through the leaves, carrying with it the echoes of screams. The silence is deafening, broken only by the occasional crackle of a twig underfoot. The town below remains deserted, a testament to the horrors that unfolded on that cursed mountainside. Some say that the spirits of the victims still linger, trapped in a perpetual nightmare, their cries for help carried on the wind. And in the stillness of the night, if you listen closely, you can almost hear them, the whispers of the dead, warning you to stay away, to never venture too close to the shadows, because on Cannibal Hill some horrors never truly die. They just fade into legend, waiting to claim their next victims.